NXT took place tonight in its home of Orlando, Florida at the WWE Performance Center. Unfortunately, as I predicted, this was not a Halloween Havoc themed episode, and every year, up until this year, the final NXT before Halloween is always a Halloween Havoc themed show, in addition to the PLE. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, they decided not to do it this year. I don't get it. The actual episode I usually find to be really entertaining. It's one of my favorite episodes every year. They go all in on the Halloween theme, and they have the stipulation, which is the wheel is a stipulation that sets up matches, and it's always really entertaining. Shotzi's always a big part of it. Of course, she's no longer with the company since she was let go earlier this year, or her contract wasn't renewed, so that hurts it. But I am disappointed we didn't get our Halloween Havoc themed show. I always enjoy it almost as much in many ways as the PLE, which wasn't the best Halloween Havoc PLE this year anyway. So, they really could use help in the ratings. I think it would only boost ratings having a Halloween Havoc themed show. And when you look at NXT's ratings, they definitely need a lot of help, to say the least. So we saw Kalani Jordan and Jordan Grace arriving at the PC ahead of their match tonight. Then we cut to Trick Williams harassing people backstage. Then he heads to the ring. Go away, Trick. Ava walks out with security, and she just looks so stupid. Ricky goes after Trick. It's just awful. I've seen 2 million instances where security breaks up a brawl this year in WWE. I'm just so over it, man. We have an NXT spotlight on Axiom. And then they showed us the WrestleMania 42 promo, which I saw for the first time tonight. I heard about it, and I have to say it was great. The casino theme seems to be the direction they're doing. They show a whole bunch of wrestlers at a poker table. Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and CM Punk. And then we see Triple H and Paul Heyman kind of in the background. And they also released the poster for WrestleMania 42 this year. So I liked it a lot, actually. It was an awesome teaser, one of the better ones they've done. And we see the poker chip, and it shows like 2026 and WrestleMania. So it was well done, I have to say. We got Axiom and Jasper Troy in a speed match. Jasper Troy won. He sucks. He's just an LFG clunker, just some NIL bullshit, man. I'm so sick of guys like this. I've ranted on Jasper Troy, and people like him a lot. We see Sol Ruka and Zarya talking to the GM backstage. Sol says she doesn't want anyone defending her title, and of course Zarya is insulted by this. She walks off, she gives it up, and there's a new tournament next week that will start, and the winner of the tournament becomes the Speed Champion. So obviously Sol's going to be gone for a while. We see the new NXT Women's Champion, Tatum Paxley, heading to the ring with her stable, the Culling. And then the Culling were out next. Tatum gives a passionate speech after winning the title. Tatum wants to do an open challenge, but Izzy objects to it. She tries to talk her out of it, and then Tatum says she's doing it, and then she's also bringing back the wheel. So we did get the wheel. Unfortunately, it was a wheel to determine a number one contender, and not really a Halloween Havoc type of wheel. We didn't get match stipulations. That's nostalgia for me, because they used to do that on Raw. I think it was called a Raw Roulette or something, and I always used to enjoy that. And it used to be one of my favorite episodes of Raw every year when they would do it. And that was back when Bischoff was GM. But nowadays, we got it back for NXT, but it's not the same now. They it's not what it used to be. They just did it for just a segment, It used to be really entertaining watching it in the last few years. Anyway, Tatum unveils the wheel. She spins it to determine her number one contender tonight, and it's Lola Vice. So all I thought was, Izzy is turning sooner than later. Trick Williams is angry backstage. Then we go to Kendall Gray and Ren Sinclair talking backstage before her match with Lash Legend. We get Kendall and Lash Legends for the Evolve Women's Championship, so not a bad match. Ren was in Kendall's corner. Kendall won the match. She's obviously a future star, and at the end, after she beat Lash, she celebrates with Ren. We get an Instagram video of Miles Bourne, then it transitions to one with Tavion Heights. Backstage, Lola Vice congratulates Tatum Paxley as the new champion. She says she will be the new champion tonight, and then Izzy walks in, and clearly still they're building tension with Izzy and Tatum. We get Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne. Josh Briggs joined the commentary. Unfortunately, fans told him to go away. I was called him Jason Bourne. Miles Bourne won with the roll-up. Briggs attacks Tavion Heights after the match. And then as Miles Bourne looks on, Trick Williams hits him in the back with a steel chair, cuts a promo on Ricky. Ricky jumps Trick coming from the crowd, and that was the second of their 3 brawls tonight. We'll get to the last one later. Kalani Jordan's warming up in the locker room. Tatum Paxley is out next with the calling for her match. Ethan Page was walking backstage with Chelsea Green and Alba Fire ahead of his AAA match this weekend, which I will not be watching. Chelsea's talking about how she's looking for recruits, and she's kind of inadvertently reciting lyrics to Joe Hendry's theme song. And then Thea Hale walks by and says, "She believes in Joe Hendry," and he pops out of a garbage can, or a garbage bin, and I guess that's Ethan Page's next feud. We get Tatum Paxley and Lola Vice for the NXT Women's Championship. So early in the match, we saw Fatal Influence walking into the PC, so that tells you this isn't going to last very long. They go to the ring, they attack Izzy Dame, and then they surround the ring and they attack both Tatum and Lola. They lay both of them out, and Fatal Influence stands tall over them, and that set up a 6-women's tag for next week. So it was pretty obvious. I didn't think it would take the belt off Tatum. There'd be so much backlash. And I think if they were going to go with Lola, she would have beat JC at the No Mercy PLE. We get a Blake Monroe video promo from her bathtub with the NXT Women's North American Championship. All bubbly, and she announces her first title defense will be in New York City at the theater at Madison Square Garden. I think that's in a couple weeks. We have an NXT Anonymous clip showing Javon Evans talking to Leon Slater on his phone. Then Dark State surrounds him. He stands up to them and sets up a tag match. I don't care. Dark State is go over heat with me, as is Trick Williams, as is Jasper Troy, as is Josh Briggs. There's so many people, as is Ava. There's so many people in NXT who I just find so insufferable, who I just don't want to see, who have go away heat with me, and it hurts my enjoyment of the show. A preview next week's show. Backstage, Kelly Kincaid interviewed Sol Ruka and Zarya about Blake Monroe. Quickly, JC Jane interrupts, tells them to shut up, and then she walks outside with Fallon Henley and Laney Reed by her side, and she cuts a promo to the camera, and she says she runs division and stuff. This is designed to set up the 6-woman tag match with Fatal Influence taking on Tatum Paxley, Izzy Dame, and Lola Vice. Then we get our main event, Kalani Jordan defending her TNA Knockouts Championship against the former TNA Knockouts champion, Jordan Grace. So it's an okay match. They're doing fine. And then we see Ricky Saints and Trick Williams brawling. They go from backstage to outside near the ring, and then they eventually go to the ring, and there's referees. They're trying to break them up. Security's breaking them up. So the referee becomes distracted with all the chaos. Kalani Jordan then takes the TNA Knockouts Championship, hits Jordan Grace over the head with it, and pins her 1, 2, 3. Kalani Jordan retains her title, and I guess she's a heel again, so she got the win. Trick and Ricky continue to fight. Eventually, Ricky spears Trick through the podium, that big NXT podium in the crowd. He spears them, and they go under the podium. I mean, they crashed through cardboard, to be honest. That's what it looked like. But then Ava announces a last man standing match in 2 weeks. I assume that's for the Garden. And yeah, Ava is awful. Everything about her is awful. And this show wasn't awful, but not a very entertaining show, to be honest. There's just so much problems with the show. Ava is just the worst GM, zero charisma. She's just awful. She doesn't look the part. She's horrible. Just such a nepo baby who doesn't belong on TV. Trick Williams is just cold as the North Pole right now. I mean, the guy is just awful. He's awful in the ring. I don't want to see him anymore in NXT. Josh Briggs is awful. Jasper Troy is awful. Dark State are just one of the worst stables of all time. They have go-away heat with me. There's just so much wrong with this show. There's a lot I enjoy. I mean, this was definitely a woman-friendly show. If you like women's wrestling, you like the women's division NXT, you'd probably enjoy the show a lot because there's a lot of women's wrestling. It's just there's so much problems with NXT right now that it's hurting my overall enjoyment of the show. So I didn't think it was necessarily a bad show tonight, just not really a show worth talking about. Just so many issues that make it really, in many ways, almost unwatchable in some regards. So that was NXT tonight.